In this lesson, we are going to create circles in isometric perspective, which basically means that it will be an oval. So select the marquee tool, make sure that you've got the elliptical marquee tool. Then while holding in Shift and Alt, click and drag a circle. Then we are going to fill that circle with solid fill color. Let's pick another color like that pink color. Make sure that you've got your mask selected, Control T on the keyboard, and then we are going to rotate it by 26,5, and you'll see that this is very close to isometric perspective. Now, before we apply that, we are going to use these handles. While holding Control in, select a handle, and we want to move this section to any of the points there. Then do the same while holding Control, move that handle so that we've got that handle about 4 squares across, like so. And then we want to do the same here, 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So grab that handle while holding Control in and pull it like that. And then press Enter on the keyboard. So that's one way to create a perfect oval in isometric. But this is limited. Sometimes you want to have do it by hand. In most cases, I prefer to do it by hand. So let's put that aside. Let's create a new fill layer. This time I'm going to use a grayish blue again. Control I the mask, then brush, and I'm going to use the opacity and pressure sensitivity because I'm going to scribble a lot. Make sure that your foreground and backgrounds are color. So for instance, if it's a grayish color like that, when you draw, it's going to be very light in your mask. So let's Control A to select everything, delete, and then press D on the keyboard to make sure that it's white and black. Now if I draw, it will be dark. So we want to basically get to the same thing here. So I'm going to use 4 squares across, and then 4 squares across here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to use this. 4 here and 4 here. Let's reduce the opacity of the ISO grid and lock it again. Make sure that you've got your drawing layers mask selected. Now we want to draw a vertical line through this and a horizontal line from corner to corner, and then divide this as well. Now if you look at this line here, if we divide this line into thirds like this, and do the same for this line and the same for this one, thirds, we're going to use that third line and draw an arc like this, then an arc like this, and an arc. So the reason why we want to be able to draw this by hand as well is when you do this with pen and paper, you won't have the luxury of having the marquee tools available to you unless you've got stencils with ovals for isometric. So that's another way of creating an oval. It's not perfect, but in most cases this works very nicely. Right, so let's repeat the process. Let's move this out of the way. Let's move it over that, and you can see that there are issues, but if I put that down, put that off, it's still an oval. You can perfect that as well. So let's make another oval. This time we're going to make the oval upright, or the circle upright. So create another fill layer. Make this one a turquoisey color, a turquoise color like that. Invert the mask. This time we want to make the oval upright. So I'm going to use 3 blocks across, 3 blocks down, and 3 blocks across, like so. And then we do the same again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're going to do the same again and again. So basically dividing it into halves and in halves. Right, and then the diagonal lines, we're going to divide that into thirds, and thirds. You can use a ruler if you want to make this precise. Now we have another oval. This time, this oval is in the horizontal position, so it's standing upright, whereas this oval is lying down. The magic of isometric is that we can create an oval in this direction and duplicate that, and then just flip it horizontally. So now it's facing the opposite direction. So for instance, if we've got a pipeline that it's coming from that way and diverts into that direction, all we needed to do was just duplicate the one drawing that we've done and then flip it over. Like that. Right. Now say for instance, we want to create an oval that's longer than, it's not a circle, but it will be an oval. So let's create a new layer, this time an orangey color, invert the mask, and let's assume that this time we want to have it 4 blocks across, 2 blocks down, like so, and 4 blocks across. We do the same, divide that in half, divide that in half, then in half here as well, and half there. And then we need to divide this into thirds. The same here, thirds. Right, and then we can draw an oval. So you are not limited to what kind of circle or oval you want to create. As long as you follow this principle, it will be easy to create whatever form or shape of oval you want to create. So I hope this makes sense. Draw a few circles and ovals. Try to have some of them longer so that you can create an oval in perspective. And circles in various directions. So circles that goes in the vertical direction and circles that goes in the horizontal direction. See you in the next lesson.